Mark Peter Davis, and I run an incubator called Interplay. I think I knew what I wanted to do, or had an inkling of what role I wanted to play in this ecosystem for a very long time. Getting here wasn't always easy, and I've probably been trying to do this in some form or fashion for a very long while. I think what clicked, which really unlocked the ability to start incubating companies, was the ability to not only have enough credibility, but to communicate clearly and inspire people to start companies with me. Because you can't do an incubator if you're the only part of the operation. It's completely dependent on people, motivating them, inspiring them, and bringing them along to chase a vision that you've developed. It's important for a leader to be able to listen, because you need to understand where you fail to communicate key aspects of the conversation and what the holdups are for the people you're interacting with, so you can understand their frame of reference. If you're not listening, you're projecting your perspective on other people, which is not the way the world actually works. When you're trying to understand how to help motivate someone or get someone around a vision, you really need to understand what their concerns are. And sometimes it's just because you haven't communicated the vision properly in the first go, and you find the gaps by listening. Other times they've got a different perspective on things, and it might mold or change a vision. But the core thing is that I found that I think is one of the most important things is to stop and ask, listen, hear it, and then engage on those specific points. Failure to do so, I think, will leave a lot of people in an undesirable place and have kind of the people you're trying to get to kind of come along with you hand in hand straying over time. It's important to use psychological frameworks to make sense of the chaos that is human nature and find simple, basic, useful patterns to be able to actually engage people in a way that helps them be more successful and allows you to interface with them in a way that merges and allows you to merge your style with their style. When you think about it, all companies are really built on people. Even if it's a tech company, who's writing the code? It's humans. And the fact that most business schools, most business education doesn't spend time in investing deeply in understanding human psychology, it's completely missing the mark of what it is to do business. Because business is all about people. There's no good type or bad type, it's fit. It's putting people in the right place where they can be successful. And then once you start working with them, knowing what to expect and knowing how to interact with them in a way that encourages the best outcomes and sets them up to be the most successful in their role. And so you have to go in with expectations and kind of a compromise on styles. Trying to enforce one style on other people just because it's convenient for you is not going to be effective unless the company happens to require the exact same style in the leadership role. Meeting in the middle. It's moving in their direction, but also making sure you're helping them move in your direction to the extent that you happen to have the characteristics they need for the role. If you're not those, you have the wrong characteristics, then you want to move in that direction. The key, but if you have the framework, you can have a sense of where you sit, where they sit, and can over time merge. The third thing is how to communicate a vision. And what it really comes down to, what I think has been the key that's unlocked this for me, is understanding that people aren't inspired by what you do, it's why. It's what's the impact, and it's never making money, it's what thing you're going to change, what the result is. You're not going to find people and sell them something they don't already want. What you're going to give them is what they were already looking for. Founders Shield is a commercial insurance brokerage primarily serving the startup market. So key man, which is life insurance for executives, to generate any type of commercial liability, director and officer for the board, for employee lawsuits, all that type of stuff. Who cares? Who cares about insurance? We all need it. They're not selling insurance. They're selling a way of doing business. They're taking people and saying, hey, if you believe that when you do business, everything should be simple. You should be able to fill out a simple web form and click a few buttons and never touch a piece of paper, then they're the insurance broker for you. And if you ask the CEO what he's selling, he'll say he's not in the insurance business, he's in the customer service business. Customer experience, actually. He's making online experiences as well as offline, right? But he happens to be delivering insurance as a product. That's what works. And that's what motivates and inspires people who are, the founder is a tech entrepreneur. Why did he get in the insurance space? Because he believed that the way you do business should be simple and elegant and convenient. And he was applying those principles and that experience to a space that didn't have it.